Guys, this month we are talking about going deeper, not wide. What do I mean by that? For the important connections that we have, most of us actually just stop at the surface. We don't really dig in. We don't really put any meat into the conversation. We may follow up, hey, how's life? How are things going? What's up? What's new? But we really don't take it beyond that. And this theme that we've been talking about this month at Ripple headquarters and with our Ripple members apparently really resonated with a friend of mine. It was the encouragement to stop doing just the surface connecting, actually dig in with something. Maybe it's an article of interest, a book you've been reading, a movie or a documentary you've seen, or an idea that's just been bouncing around in your head. Pick that person, reach out to them, say, look, I'd really like to have a deeper, more, engaged conversation here. And like to see if you'd be open to that. Well, he took that to heart. And he reached out to a fellow entrepreneur that he's known for a while, but he's just never quite cracked the nut on this guy. They see each other a couple of times a year at various events. They may get together once a year for lunch. He said all of their interactions have been very surface. The guy seemed very reserved, right? Very not standoffish, friendly, but not super forthcoming. But he said he has been noodling on a new startup idea, and he thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me to have this conversation with him. So he picked up the phone and he called him and he said, I'm working on an idea. I respect and admire you as an entrepreneur, and I'd like to get your impressions. Could we have lunch? He said from the moment they both arrived at the restaurant, things had changed, right? This guy was much more friendly, much more accommodating, was super interested in the idea. He said it was like a completely transformation of the guy, and he couldn't put his finger on it. And of course, when he called me to tell me this, I'm like, well, yeah, because you're letting him in. You're giving him, you're trusting him with an idea. You're telling him you respect and admire him, which automatically makes him feel good. It's a great ripple. But as they went through lunch and they're talking about this idea, this guy's writing things on napkins. They're talking about different strategies. And have you thought about this? And have you thought about that? And he said that hour and a half passed like it was just minutes. He said, I couldn't believe it. They didn't really have a follow-up action. There was nothing. It was just like, hey, good luck. Let me know how it goes. But he said our departure was way different than it ever had been. I felt like we were really gelling. And we had taken our relationship to a new level. He's like, I like the guy. 2 days later, he said, he got a call. And the guy said, I cannot get your idea out of my head. Came up with these other ideas that I want to present to you. Would you get together for coffee? Next thing they know, they're having another hour and a half conversation over coffee about this idea when they both kind of realize that they both bring something unique to this idea. This never would have happened had they not taken the time to get to know one another. Initially make that connection, right? Of course. However, had that my friend not taken that step forward to say, look, you're someone I respect, you're someone I admire, I think I can learn from you in this idea, I'd like to present it to you. That was an opportunity for him to crack open that door and to allow that guy inside. And I don't know whether this becomes the next $1 million idea or not. What I do know is that this relationship has somehow transformed, and it just took that one action, that one ripple. Let's go deep on this conversation. Let's have a little more in-depth interaction. Let me invite you in. Let me make it safe and welcoming for you to share and contribute. And I know you have something of value to present here. And boom, it took off. So I don't know who's important to you in your life right now, who you'd like to build that relationship with, but let me just tell you, a good book, a good idea, new documentary, something that's happening out there in the world that you just want to take that conversation to a deeper level, tell that person, hey, I respect and admire you. I'd like to get your perspective on this, or I'd love to have our next interaction be a little bit more than just about football. How about this idea to put on the table and watch what happens? Go deep, not wide, and watch the ripples. They come in unexpected ways, but they will come. Until next time, my friends, go out there, make a difference in the world. You end up making a difference in your own life. And as always, ripple on.